And good morning. It's 7:04 on this Monday, November 27th. It's time to head to Studio B for Coleman and Company.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome here on a Monday morning after Thanksgiving week. And I'm just thinking I haven't been on the air since last Wednesday, a long weekend. We welcome you to our program. We welcome Don Hamlet to talk about Absolute Kubota, among other things. Good morning.
Good morning, Coleman. How are you?
I'm doing well, and I'm not singing Dynamite when Vandy starts to fight. Wish I could. It was. You don't do that when it's 48 to 24. So.
Maybe not that week. Maybe another week.
Maybe next year.
Yes.
Well, Don, of course, represents Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon. And I'm just thinking, I believe about this time last Monday, we were talking on telephone.
We were. That's right.
Yeah, but you're here live in studio this morning to talk about those Kubota tractors, hay equipment, zero-turn mowers, RTVs, and all the other good things.
We've got all those things in stock right now, Coleman. It's a great time to be, make year-end purchases. I've been kind of announcing over the last few weeks that if you're planning on making some year-end purchases because your accountant says you need to spend some money or pay taxes on it, come on in now. Let's start looking. Make sure we've got everything lined out the way you want it. If we don't have a particular piece that you want, I'm sure we can get it in for you and get you fixed up.
Well, isn't that one of the nice things about Kubota, that you could get things fairly easily and fairly quickly?
In the past few years, COVID and all the mess that was going on with all that, you may have driven by our lot and we didn't have hardly anything out there. Right now, we're loaded up. We've got just pretty much every size piece of equipment you could want. There may be a little twist or turn of one piece that you want to do a little different, but we can take care of you on that. Still have all the 0% financing. Kubota does their own financing. And yes, we do have Exmark and Hustler and Land Pride and Red Max. Just besides Kubota, we have all those different pieces. You've got your purchases for your hay equipment for your Tennessee farmers this year. Let's don't forget that. I think those letters are probably going to go out next week to let them know what they have been awarded for their purchases. That's a program that's only here in the state of Tennessee for larger size farms. This year it's for hay equipment. Some years it's for barns and fences and different structures. This year it's hay equipment. We've got some hay equipment. If you want to come in and start looking at some different things, please do. Just a reminder for everyone also, we are closed on Saturdays now until the first week of February. So, there's that. We are open Monday through Friday, 7 to 5. We'll try to work with you as much as we can during those hours. But, things just kind of slow up, get a little different, starts getting darker a little earlier and different things like that. But, we are there till 5 every day. There's just lots of nice rebates on everything. All the tractors, construction equipment. We still have some excavators in stock. You and I always like to talk about those side-by-sides, those Kubota RTVs. I know we have some gas models. They'll go about 40 miles an hour if you like to go a little fast, have a little bit more fun. I know we have the
Not fast enough.
That's plenty fast enough if you've ever been out on anybody's pastures. But we have cab units that have heat and air on them, if you just want to get out and do that. We have 4-seaters. I always talk about being the favorite grandmother, grandfather. If you can ride your grandbabies around in a 4-seater, and it converts down to a 2-seater with a bigger bed with electric over hydraulic dump bed on it. So,
anybody ever used one of them for a golf cart?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they'd let me do that. I have a golf cart. I don't know how well. It would be fun to have that 40-mile-an-hour one out there on a golf course. If everybody get out of your way and let you get on around the course and play quicker.
Yeah. Well, one thing you do like to emphasize and really brag about a little bit, your service department.
We have a great service department. We have a lot of technicians back in the back that have dozens of years of experience back there. You can always call Clint. I told you a couple of years ago, we started the thing where you can kind of, instead of just bringing your equipment, just dropping it off for a simple service. I understand if you need to drop it off for a repair or something, but just any kind of services, you can kind of call ahead and kind of get an appointment so you can continue to use your equipment until the day before maybe you need to drop it off. And if you're the kind of person that likes to do their own services or repairs or anything, come in and see Clint and Gunner in our parts department, and we keep all your main service items, your oils, your filters, your belts, blades, all those things in stock all the time, ready to go.
And if it's maybe a piece it's hard to get, you're usually pretty prompt even getting something ordered from somewhere else.
Yeah, we can do that. We can get stuff ordered even as fast as overnight if you're willing to pay for the overnight shipping. Some guys, they're out making money with their equipment, and it's important to them. We can get that in for you. And like I said, the other pieces that you may need to make for the year-end purchases, we can do like automobile lots. We can do, dealer transfers and swaps. I may have a piece of equipment they need already, and, they've got one I need, and we get something in for you. I just always fear that someone's going to come in on December 29th or 30th, and just remember this year, I'm pretty sure December 31st, I think, is on a Sunday, yes, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. So that Saturday, the 30th, we're not there either. So, December 29th is your day to, try to get everything done for your year-end purchases.
Keep that in mind. Don, always good to talk with you, and we'll do it again next Monday.
See you next Monday. All Thanks, right. Coleman.
Don Hamlet, Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main. You'll find them on the telephone, 615-449-6171. All right, I want to welcome Becky and Linda this morning, Becky Andrews and Linda Burge, and we are ready to talk to each of these ladies. And Becky Andrews, I guess we'll say good morning to you really first. How are you?
Good morning, Coleman. How are you? I'm doing well, thank you.
Doing well. And Linda, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, I think y'all have got a big announcement for us this morning, and so everybody turn your radio up a little bit. You want to hear what's coming next.
You've really built that up. I hope this is not going to be disappointing. No, we have actually made the move, Linda and I. We, as well as being part of RE/MAX Real Estate, we have AB Partners, which is our little team. We have 3 of us on the team, but it's just our division of real estate. But we've actually made the move from RE/MAX West Main Realty to RE/MAX Exceptional Properties in Mount Juliet. But we've also secured an office here in Lebanon for AB Partners, and that's where we can meet clients and we can do design selections, or it's just nice to have a spot to meet in Lebanon.
Well, this is not something that just came about overnight. I'm sure you thought about this a little bit
yes.
ahead of time and planned and prepared and
yes.
so on.
Yes, it was not an easy move to make. Anytime you do any change, especially at my age and at our age, it's hard to do. So we really had to think about it, and we loved our office in Lebanon with West Main Realty. But this was just it made sense kind of move.
Yes.
And Linda, you want to comment more about that? I'm sure you're in agreement, or you wouldn't be doing
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was, with AB Partners, we not only, help clients with selling and listing their properties, we also do services like design, construction consulting, interior design. So we bring other things to the table. So that's another reason why we felt it necessary to open an office here in Lebanon. So we're located at 101 Leland Street, Suite B.
Suite B, and it's close to, and it's not Al's anymore. What's the name of that grocery store?
Well, we're actually right next door to Dollar General.
Yes, so but in reference to Al, like we're on that end of town, yes. like where Al's Food Land used to be. Right. So we're in that area, and
if you can, I think it's Mike's now.
Mike's, that's it.
Mike's Food Town. You can find your office.
Yes,
in, right.
Exactly.
Yes, you can find our office and then we're right next to the Dollar General. But we're also to kind of celebrate our new location. We are going to be hosting a holiday open house with our fellow suite mates. I guess they're part of the office as well. MAI Counseling Services and Velo Spine and Sport. He's a chiropractor. So we're going to host it together on December 14th from 5 to 7 p.m. just so people can walk around. It's a beautiful office. It was rezoned commercial, but it just looks. The people that did we represent the client who renovated this model, and he just did a fabulous job on it. So we just wanted to kind of get people used to where we're located.
Yeah.
Well, that's about maybe 3 reasons to come.
Yes, 3 reasons. And we're going to have like cookies and food and prizes. We're going to have prizes too.
Yeah.
And it's one of these things where you don't have to stay for 2 hours. It's 5 to 7.
Yes, you have to stay for 2 hours. You have to check in. We need your blood type. First one. No, you can come and go, but you can come and go, get cookies and leave.
And again, Thursday, December 14th.
Yes, from 5 to 7 p.m.
So that would be
2 weeks,
2 weeks from this Thursday?
From this Thursday, yes.
All right.
Yes. So it's coming up, but we're excited just to show off our new space, and so are our neighbors in the building as well. And I mean, I think people will be really impressed with it.
Yeah.
Well, there is something about having your location, as you kind of mentioned before. But, I mean, it's okay to work out of your home, but sometimes that can be a little bit...
That's just, we've done it both ways. You do work a lot from home, especially in real estate. Yeah. But it is, for me, important to have a spot that you can meet someone
and we all everyone on our team, we all live here in Lebanon, and so it just... like
Makes
she
sense.
said, it was our client that we had sold him this building, and then he remodeled it. And this was the last space we had available to lease. And we just started looking at it, and we thought, you know what, this is perfect for us.
Because it's just the right size.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it's just
great.
the right
People
size.
can come and see that. And again, that's Thursday, December 14th, 5 to 7.
Yes.
And we'll remind people throughout the program, maybe another time or two,
Yes.
for those who might not catch it the first time.
Yeah.
It is time for us to take a break. This is Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 1506 West Main, 449-6171. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. A couple of accidents out here right now. It's starting to really load up on 24 westbound out of Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, up through Antioch. As you continue through Davidson County, it's crowded over here by the airport now, right on schedule on 40 West. As you come through Hermitage all the way up to Donaldson Pike, you got all that heavy traffic behind it coming in from Wilson County right now on I-40 going westbound. Again, headed towards Nashville coming in from Wilson County. Hey, Princess Hot Chicken is hiring at all 4 locations. Check them out today at princesshotchicken.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Get a great deal on select Kubota construction equipment featuring durable Kubota engines, more comfort, more productivity, more get it done right. Right now, write it off a lot and write it off your taxes for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 36 months. Now through December 31st, subject to credit approval. Consult your tax advisor. Go to KubotaUSA.com for full details.
Absolute Kubota, 1506 West Main in Lebanon.
And we continue here on a Monday morning. My guests this morning are Becky Andrews and Linda Burge, and they have made the announcement of AV Partners, Becky and Linda, and moved to Remax Exceptional Properties in the Lebanon office at 101 Leland Street. So we've gotten that told this morning, I think. And Linda, you've got some winterizing tips that you want to give us this morning.
So we all know that we need to do things. It's getting, freezing temperatures, and there's just some things that I just wanted to remind everybody about. A lot of these things are what most people know, but people maybe that haven't owned a home before. But freezing temps means freezing pipes and lots of other things, and so it's time to maybe take some time to check on things like that. So to prevent freezing pipes, you want to, for sure, people forget to do this, is they forget to disconnect their water hose from their exterior faucet.
And for the real Southern people, that's hose pipe.
Hose pipe. Yes, hose pipe.
No,
I
we don't
actually
want
had.
to confuse it. But there, I have been so amused at especially some people who will come from the northern part of the USA and come here and hear somebody talk about a hose pipe and they're not sure what they're talking about.
Well, that's interesting.
We could write a book on how many of those
Well,
things.
so I'm actually grew up here, but my mother is from Pittsburgh, and so I grew up. My mom always called it a water hose, so
Yeah.
That's where I got it from, even though I am from here.
But you can save yourself a lot of trouble if you'll do.
Oh,
take
absolutely.
advantage of what you're just saying.
Exactly, because so many people experience where they forget to disconnect that, and it will.
Or they didn't know.
Yeah, or they didn't know, and it causes problem. Another thing is, going. I know the crawl space is a scary place, but if you don't want to do it, hire someone. But check your pipes. Make sure that they have been winterized or have some type of insulation wrap around it through the winter months.
And the vents.
Yeah, the vents. Close your vents. Close your vents. Thanks, Becky. I forgot about that. But also, while you're upstairs getting your Christmas decorations down, that's a great time to check your attic for possibly maybe a leak that you didn't realize was happening, a roof leak. Also, see if there's any insulation that's fallen down. Things like that can help to, for energy efficiency.
Well, sometimes you're in such a hurry when you're doing some of these things. Maybe at best or at worst, you make a mental note and you're going to do it later and then forget to. But these are very important things.
It is.
You can pay now or pay a whole lot more.
Exactly.
Yes.
I mean, again, like I said, when you're already up there in the attic, just look around, look to see if you see any mold growing anywhere, anything that could cause a huge future problem. Another thing that, this is a great time of the year to trim branches. If you're outside putting up Christmas lights, if there's any type of tree branches that are very close to the house that you can trim, that's another good thing because that can save your gutters or, that's something small or something bigger. Another thing, drafts are happening this time of the year when it's cold. So replacing your weather stripping, around your doors.
And that's such a simple fix
It
and
is.
very, very affordable.
And that's energy savings. And then, another thing you can do for energy savings is people don't think about this, reverse your ceiling fans. That helps to direct the heat down that's rising. Also, your thermostat. Putting it on 68 degrees while you're gone from at work, or at 68 degrees at night if you like it cold like me.
I like it cold at night too.
So,
I like it cold with a heating pad on my bed.
Exactly.
I think that's going to vary a little bit with people, whether you're a cold-natured, hot-natured,
Well, exactly.
or whatever. But you need to find some sort of happy medium and don't have it as low as you.
Well, 68 if you're working, if you're gone during the day, that's reasonable to keep it at 68. That helps with energy efficiency. When you get home, crank it up to 72. My dad, he likes it very warm.
Oh, my dad does too. I walk in and my glasses fog up.
Well, I don't know if there needs to be somebody designated to do that. Now, if you got two people who greatly disagree, one's going to be turning it up and the other one turning it down. But at my house, I never touch the thermostat.
I don't either.
My wife does a great job, and she never forgets, and we're happy.
We just keep it on
Just about
one.
that.
We keep ours at 68 all the time. So usually whenever, my kids were home this week, and my oldest son came downstairs on Sunday or Saturday, and he said, "Do you have any? It's cold up there." I was like, "I'll give you a heating pad." That's
Yes. Well, they have these nice warm wraps that blanket wraps that are electric now. That so it's like having a heating pad in the on your sofa with you. But
this that you just mentioned about your ceiling fans, I haven't always known that you could reverse them. I guess most of them anymore are reversible.
Well, and they all have remotes,
and they all have. And if you don't have a remote, there's a little
button
at the top where you can switch it.
Yeah, but that is
and so
amazing.
You want it where it's going to
push the air down.
blow the warm air down in the wintertime.
Absolutely.
And
Especially
reverse it up in summertime.
And so many of us have vaulted ceilings in rooms too. So
or
that
tall
really,
ceilings, 9-foot ceilings. And so it really, really makes a huge difference. And one last thing that I wanted to mention is, your smoke alarms. Check your batteries. This is a time of the year when fires happen. So make sure you've gone around and checked that all your smoke alarms.
If not, they'll go off at 2:00 in the morning, and you'll wander around the house trying to figure out which one is beeping.
Well, a lot of people, it's suggested that when we have the time change, when we go from daylight saving to standard time, that not only you change your clocks, but change your batteries. But if you haven't done that, check them out.
Yes.
Exactly. Another thing we wanted to talk to about today is we have a listing highlight we'd like to share with you. We have a listing now it's here in Watertown. It is a Smith County property, which I wasn't. This is probably,
there's several that
there's
are
several
like that, yeah.
little areas where Watertown does go cross over into Smith County, but we have a new construction, 39 Round Lick Hills Lane. And this property, the builder, it's new construction, and he is offering $8,000 towards either buyer's closing cost
or a buy down.
Yes, or a buy down.
Which really comes in handy these days.
This new construction, it's on 1.46 acres, and it's one level. It has 3 bedrooms, 2 baths. It's an open floor plan. The family room, kitchen, dining area is open. It's got white shaker cabinetry. It's got granite countertops.
It's got a beautiful island, a large island. It's really nice. He's done some fantastic upgrades.
Yeah, it's got LVP through the whole house. There's no carpet. It's got in the master suite. It has a tile shower, not a clawfoot tub, but a
soaking tub.
A soaking tub, and it has a huge walk-in closet. All the closets actually in this house, including the pantry, are all custom-built closets, so it's not wire shelving anywhere in it. I mean, it just has all the upgrades. On top of that, it has a full front porch and then a full back porch. So you have beautiful views whether you're sitting on the front porch or the back porch. And this home is listed at $349,900. So that's a huge savings with having the builder pay $8,000 towards whatever your needs are. So you can call me or Becky and we can be glad to show you this property.
Yes, it's beautiful. We actually just posted a video of our so we just staged it. So it's really nice.
And if I heard you right, this is a Watertown address, but it's actually in Smith County.
So you're going to be paying Smith County taxes on it, which is favorable too as well. And you get an acre and a half. Everybody wants land these days, and they're not making any more of it.
And I mean, it just has everything in it. It has black faucets and light fixtures, which
the light
is really
fixtures
popular.
are really nice. Yeah.
So I mean, it has everything, and it's new construction, and it's comes with a 1-year builder warranty.
Right. And I mean, now obviously this time a $349 house 3 years ago or 2 years ago, the payment would
be different.
Obviously different, but the rates are going to come down. They're not going to go to 3% anymore, but they're going to come down. And but by the time they do, if you wait to buy this house, it'll be a $400,000 house.
Right. Yeah.
So you can buy now and refinance.
Well, and when you look at what you can spend $350,000 on right now in new construction in Lebanon, really the only thing you can buy is a condo.
Yeah.
And so if you're really wanting a home and some land, here's your opportunity. And it's
hard to. I mean, it's hard to find a 349 home in a subdivision with tiny lots.
Exactly.
So
much less on an acre. So, but we also have one other listing special. We want to get our listings ready for spring. After the first of the year, people are going to start thinking spring. But if you sign a listing agreement with us in December, and that doesn't mean you have to list the house in December, but if you sign a listing agreement with us, we're going to offer free home cleaning. So, when you go to list your home, one of the things you're going to want to do is do a really heavy cleaning. So
that's one of the things we suggest when we, there's a list of things, declutter. That's going to be part of it, and then getting it cleaned, and that that's as well as our staging services as well. On
we already offer staging free, but this is an additional. It's anywhere from a $350 to $450 value depending on the size of the home.
Yeah.
But it's hugely important to get your home in
tip-top shape, especially now.
We're fast running out of time. We got about 3 minutes. You want to do some decorating for Christmas and decluttering ideas.
Yes. So this is the best time to do some decluttering because we all have Christmas stuff we don't use anymore. I mean, I had so many boxes. I got rid of it this summer. And if you're going through and you're putting out your Christmas decor and there's things that you're putting back, just set those aside in a bin that's either I'm going to donate or some that you just have to toss. That's a good time to do that because if you're thinking about listing, this is a good time to start that decluttering process because you're going to have time. You're going to have people at home, probably kids home from college, and they're going to be able to take all that stuff off to the help center or
Goodwill.
the dump. Yeah. if you're going to keep it. So this is a good time to start decluttering, because that's the first thing you're going to do. And that can be daunting when you do it all at once. But we always tell people, if you're thinking about like that, we say declutter, you're going to be packing up to move anyway. So
I know I was doing that this weekend.
Yes. I feel like that's the story of my life.
But decluttering for some is harder than others.
Oh, it's hard for all of us. I mean, like when we tell people to do that, I'm always like, now listen, my home is not ready to sell or list right now. When I go home from people's homes, I'm like, we have got to clean out our attics. Yes. They're too cluttered.
Well, and again, like this weekend, I was decorating for Christmas, and I started pulling stuff down. And so I knew we were going to talk about this today. And so I was like, I've got to practice this myself.
I know.
And it is hard, because I don't want to give anything away. I like to keep everything.
I know.
Let's end as we began this morning about your announcement of AB Partners, Becky and Linda, and have moved to RE/MAX Exceptional Properties.
Yes, and our new office location in Lebanon is 101 Leland Lane. We're Suite B. We're going to be hosting our holiday open house, December 14th. From 5 to 7 p.m., along with Velos, Spine, and Sport, and MAI counseling services. So we're really excited. We hope that everybody can come out to see us.
Thursday, December 14th,
yes.
5 to 7. And you've got a new coffee cup for advertising purposes here.
Yes, we brought one for you and MJ.
You brought me one filled with dark chocolate peanut butter cups. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. I had to get rid of those.
Good to have you both with us this morning, and we certainly wish you well, and hope everybody remember your open house on Thursday, December 14th.
Yes.
Well, that is part one of Coleman and Company, and we hope you'll stay with us for more here on FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Want to thank our friends at Bates Ford, and that regular oil change $39.95 up to 5 quarts oil, tax and disposal. And Bates Ford in their brand new location, 1780 Franklin Road. Now at traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. We still see heavy traffic volume coming out of Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, headed towards Nashville right now, right on schedule up through the Hickory Hollow area. As you come up through Smyrna and Laverne on 24 going westbound. It's also starting to get a little bit crowded over here by the airport on 40 westbound, right there at Donaldson Pike. They were trying to clear up the earlier wreck, 65 southbound just past Trinity Lane, that had traffic slow go down through that section. Hey, don't miss it this year, Enchanted Garden of Lights. This holiday season at Rock City in Chattanooga. Log on today, crockcity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Gregory Dental Group in Lebanon is in a new location, 1746 West Main in Lebanon, across from Sports Village. Gregory Dental Group offers cosmetic procedures, dental implant services, and digital dentures. Premium dentures in just 2 appointments.
Hi, I'm Dr. Derek Gregory. In my office, you can count on compassionate staff who will truly listen to you, take the time to get to know you, and discuss your personal needs.
No insurance? No problem. Call about the discount plan. Gregory Dental Group, 444-0322.
As we head through the day today, we'll see a mix of sun and clouds. We'll see a high of around 49 degrees. Tonight, that overnight low back down to around 32. For your Tuesday, we'll be back up into the low 50s. This weather forecast is brought to you by Walker Auction and Realty, professional auction of real estate services. Get top dollar for your home, land, or personal property. Log on to MikeWalkerAuctions.com. They know auctions. That's a look at your forecast. I'm Stormy Clausen.
We welcome you to part 2 of Coleman and Company, and want to welcome James Van Hook this morning, and we're kind of starting something new. Good morning.
Morning, Coleman.
And you're not only going to be doing our commercial time here, but you're my guest this morning, so it's me and you till 8 o'clock. And welcome you certainly as an advertiser and as a guest this morning.
Well, it's great to be here. I'm not sure I knew I was going to get all the way to 8 o'clock, so I'm glad I already had my coffee this morning.
Yeah, that's the way it is.
All right, good. Well, that's a good deal. Yes, sir.
We do have a lot to talk about. And, of course, I guess, first of all, maybe a little bit of self-identification for you. Your father, Fred Van Hook, started his singing that's gone for 50 years, and y'all did the 50th one, I believe, back a few weeks ago.
Yes, right? Sir, about 3 weeks ago, November 4th. 3 or 4 weeks, whatever that is.
And you were out here with your sisters, and we talked about that. But
yes, sir.
We have not got into what you do for a living or anything work-related, and we are going to do that this morning.
All right.
But as we get started here talking about Harris Trading Company.
Yes, sir.
And keep that in mind, Harris Trading Company, that's your employer, and you are their spokesperson this morning, their spokesman. But you've... for people who don't know, the Van Hook name here is a good name, and a lot of people knew Les Van Hook, associated him with a radio station. Your
yes,
Uncle
sir.
Les.
Yes, sir.
He was everybody's Uncle Les, but
yes, sir.
truly your uncle. And Fred's older brother, of course.
Yes, sir.
So that sort of gives you a little family identity, but I think you were born and raised, went to school here. Tell us a little bit about yourself and your life up to now.
Absolutely. Born and raised here. We won't say exactly which year because that's getting further and further back. But actually born and raised, and my mother still lives just over the hill, you might say, from where I'm currently working. Mm-hmm. Just a stone's throw. But yes, I've always lived here, gone for a few years in the military. But other than that, I've been Lebanon 100%.
What mostly have you done for a living?
I've done after several years in the military, and I started with that.
Which branch were you?
U.S. Army.
Okay.
Yes, sir. From 84 to 89. I came back, started working for Kenneth O. Lester Company, now currently PFG,
right.
Of course. Did several years driving for Kenneth O. Lester Company, then did several years of sales for Kenneth O. Lester Company. And for a total of about 10 years at that time. Then I left and went to work for another mainstay in Wilson County Motor Company for W.P. Bone, and then selling cars for a few years. And after
if you
that,
can sell cars, you can probably do just about anything.
Well, that's what they say. And some people, that's a good thing. Some it's a bad thing.
Well, it depends on what kind of car salesman you are.
That's right. Well,
hopefully you're an honest one.
Well, that's what I was going to say. With Wilson County Motors and the Bone family, that's the only kind they employed. I was proud of the fact that there wasn't a lot of trickery and the old adage of used car salesman tricks and all that. But after a few years of that, I actually went back to Kenneth O. Lester, but at that time it was called Performance Food Group. Mm-hmm. Again, did several years of driving, about another 20-something years there.
Well, I
total of about
family,
30.
But honestly, I didn't know any of that.
Is that right?
So I'm learning. Well, how did you get to be with Harris Trading Company?
Well, a few years ago when I left Performance Food Group, I did a few years working for the shippers in Watertown, still in the trucking industry, but doing sales and rental. And
Don and Lolita?
Don and Lolita, yes, and did a few years. I did a little driving for them also. Just recently made a change, though, about 3 months ago. And I've always had an interest in farm equipment, agricultural equipment, as well as heavy machinery and all that. So it kind of fit right in when Harris Trading Company was looking for someone to kind of manage and try to expand the rental department. Mm-hmm. Of course, I also do regular sales, but our focus, or at least my focus, is growing the rental division of that. And good opportunity because it's kind of on the ground floor.
All right. Well, we'll tell everybody Harris Trading Company is located at 1331 Sparta Pike, and it's just south of the Watertown exit on I-40. So you go past the interstate, and it's out there on the left.
That's right.
I saw it as I was going to Watertown the other day.
After you go onto the interstate.
The landscape a little bit there.
Absolutely. Got a huge lot out there now and still expanding. So if you go under the interstate, don't blink or you'll miss it because it is right there, just, an eighth of a mile, maybe.
Well, the owners, I understand, are Raymond Harris and Jacob Harris. You want to tell us about them a little bit?
Yes, Raymond Harris and his son Jacob, owners of the Harris Trading Company. Of course, Raymond has been in multiple businesses for years around Lebanon, has a trucking company. And I don't know. I would miss something if I tried to name everything he's been involved in. But entrepreneur and a businessman for many years, successful, very successful. And his son, Jacob, runs the day-to-day pretty much at Harris Trading now because they still have the trucking company and everything. Raymond has several irons in the fire, you might say, and very busy. But they started on the trucking company's parking lot over on Caterpillar Road, Mile High Trucking. They started selling a selection of skid steer attachments and tractor attachments on a corner of that lot 3 or 4 years ago. And just earlier this year, expanded over and opened up the dedicated Harris Trading Company lot where it is now on Sparta Pike.
Okay, so are you renting equipment? Is that what you're mainly doing?
Yes. Well, like I said, I personally do kind of try to manage the rental department, but also do sales of anything. And we're in kind of a unique position in the industry where we have a very large selection of equipment for sale, and we actually are in the process of, as the demand shows what equipment is wanted and for rental, we are pulling equipment from sales and moving it into rental. So if we don't currently have it sitting over in the corner with the rental equipment, that doesn't mean it's not available, because we have a huge selection of possibilities to pull into rental service.
Okay, what tell us kind of an overall picture of all that you have to rent there.
Okay.
Is it mostly, what you'd find at most any equipment rental place?
Yes, sir. You have the standard multiple sizes of mini excavators, dump trailers, wheel loaders, subcompact tractors with various attachments, bush hog, tillers, and things like that. Livestock trailer that we have, which is not something real common around this immediate area. And we also have all most of the small wares, you might say, the saws and the pressure washers and the small stump grinders and things like that.
What are you renting most right now?
Most in the last couple of months, mostly mini X's and things like that, where, of course, the tractor, we're getting out of the bush hog season and things like that, and everything kind of has a season. There's a lot of things that are outdoors that are kind of slowing down with the darkness and the cold temperatures. But people are still trying to get their projects done, businesses and as well as homeowners, still trying to get the last minute digging projects, you might say, of the year. And so mini X's and wheel loaders and golf carts. A lot of people might be surprised to know we sell a great number of variety of styles of golf carts, but they're the recreational style 4 and 6 seaters. So we rent and sell those. People get them for events like weddings or events out at the fairgrounds. And also I had one gentleman rented one and drove his kids around the neighborhood for Halloween, things like that. So, and of course, all the skid steer attachments that we sell, there's acres of skid steer attachments, your buckets and your forks and your mowers and, gosh, I can't even name them all.
Well, there's some competition in this business. Are your prices favorable, let's say?
Yes, absolutely. We try to be competitive with anyone in our market. We, as far as competitions, we overlap with several different companies, of course, but we also have some unique areas that a lot of our competition does not have. It don't completely overlap.
Well, the fact that you're not only in the rental business, but you have all this equipment to sell, exactly. I guess that makes you a little bit different from just a strictly rental place.
Absolutely. That's what I meant by our kind of unique position of, as we're growing our rental, we have many lines of equipment that we can pull into rental service. Even if it's something we have not rented, I'll get calls all the time. Well, do you have such and such piece of equipment? And we look at it, what we have in the sales fleet, and if it's something that makes sense, you're not going to pull an expensive piece out to rent it just one time, and then it's a used piece of equipment.
Right.
If it's something we think, and we're getting a lot of calls that will be an ongoing, what you might say, pull it into the rental fleet, and it's there ongoing.
Well, I'm thinking that as word has gotten out that you're getting a little bit busier, and
yes, sir.
Like it like that, of course. You want to be even more busy.
That's right. That's right. Some days we're hopping and doing more than we can keep up with. Myself and the other salesman. If I might mention that, so I make sure so everyone will know, we have a salesman, Chris Harris, and actually no relation to the Harris, the owners, but he started a few years ago when they got into the this side of the business with equipment, and he's developed a good clientele. And of course, everybody that knows him will come back in and ask for him, and he takes great care of them. We have another salesman, Riley Dempsey, who has he started earlier this year. He has developed a clientele, and everyone that knows him or has worked with him comes in and asks for him. And then myself started about 3 months ago, and they kind of come in and ask me for rental or for sales.
Well, we're going to a break here in a minute or two. This has been somewhat of a change for you. I hope you've adapted well. It seems like you have. You know all about it.
Well, no, I wouldn't say anywhere near all about it. My history in agricultural equipment, my dad owned that business, run that business from the time I was born for many years. So, and then the construction
For those who
side.
don't remember, it was called Reed and Bland on South Maple.
Absolutely, Reed and Bland Equipment Company. My dad, by the time I was born, it was my dad and Charles Lannis, his nephew.
Yeah.
And Massey Ferguson's, Kubota. I remember when I was 4 or 5 years old, I would open the boxes and assemble the steel chainsaws and put them on the shelf. And then, of course, at about 10 or 11 years old, I was driving Kubotas home from town to mow the grass. There was a little less traffic back then.
All right. Well, James Van Hook's representing Harris Trading Company, again, 1331 Sparta Pike. It's just south of the Watertown exit on I-40. And we're going to talk more after we take a break here on Coleman and Company, FM 98.9.
And let's see what's happening on the roadways. Thanks to our friends at Absolute Kubota, premium brands require premium parts and service. Contact Absolute Kubota's Elite Certified Service Department to schedule an appointment. 1506 West Main, 449-6171. Now in traffic, here's Chuck.
Good morning. There's a couple of accidents out here right now. It's just crowded where you would expect this time of the morning. 40 coming westbound out of Wilson County, especially from the Mount Juliet area into Hermitage. It's still a little bit crowded on 24 out of Rutherford County, Murfreesboro, westbound 24 as you head up through the Hickory Hollow area. Coming in right now from Rutherford County, just always heavy this time of the morning. Watch for some radar. I-40 out in Dixon County this morning in certain parts of I-40. Hey, don't miss it this holiday season. Enchanted Garden of Lights at Rock City in Chattanooga. Check them out at crockcity.com. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
When it comes to Medicare plans designed to meet your needs and budget, there's no place like Farm Bureau Health Plans. We've got Medicare Advantage plans, Medicare supplements, Part D, dental, vision, designed with folks like you in mind. Visit our office at 214 North Castle Heights here in Lebanon. You can see Charlotte Webster for your Medicare or other health plan needs. You can always get a quote for auto, home, life insurance, and also commercial insurance. Then again, West Dugan, Farm Bureau, Castle Heights office.
Company things for joining us, James Franklin back again. I think your mother calls you James Franklin.
She does, and still a lot of family and friends from back in the day. That's what they know me as. Yes, sir.
But if you just turned our way, thank you very much. But James Franklin Van Hook, James Van Hook, is representing Harris Trading Company this morning, and to reiterate. This trading company is actually, how long has it been in business?
They started about 4 years ago, but greatly expanded early the first of this year to the new location, and many times bigger.
All right, and located, well, people are familiar with Uncle Pete's Truck Stop. It's
yes, sir.
Kind of across the street and a little bit on the Watertown side of that, and past the interstate there on the Sparta Pike, 1331 Sparta Pike. And we give out that phone number. I don't know whether we did or not, but anyway, it's a pretty easy one, 547-4033.
Yes, sir.
547-4033, and then preceded by 615, of course. And you said the owners are Raymond Harris and his son, Jacob Harris. And you
yes,
are there now and primarily trying to get the rental portion kicked off and getting in high gear?
Yes, sir. About 3 months ago, I came on board with the primary, you might say, intention of growing and operating the rental division. I do quite a bit of sales also. Just like the other salesmen I mentioned, Chris and Riley, people that know me, they're comfortable with me, that I know in the area, they'll come in and speak to me about sales or rental, as well as the other guys. Everybody gets comfortable with their salesman, and a salesman likes to continue working with the same customers because they know their needs, and you just get a comfortable relationship.
Right, and as far as rental goes, there's so many times when you need a piece of equipment, you don't want to go buy it. You might be only going to use it once or twice or something, or just periodically, depending on what it is. But so many times it's to your advantage to rent that.
That's right. As you say, a lot of homeowners and even businesses, they only do certain parts of their operation, maybe occasionally. We also have a lot of homeowners as well as businesses who will rent a certain type of piece of equipment because they're considering purchasing one. Mm-hmm. And they want to see, so I can rent them, let's say a Mini X over here a couple of times, they get comfortable with it, and then we'll walk to the other side of the building and I can sell them one. So it's kind of, it kind of works both ways.
Well, are there any particular brands that go with the rental business? I mean, you pay much attention to that, really?
Well, we primarily use the brands in rental that we also sell. Again, it goes hand in hand. We currently carry Sunward brand, for example, in our Mini X's and skid steers. We also have a couple of other brands of different size Mini X's. Yanmar is our line of tractor and agricultural equipment. They go from mid-size down to small tractors. If people go to our website, harristrading.com, it lists many brands that we're dealers for, more than I can name. In our trailer line, we feature Delco, our premium brands, in other words, Delco trailers, Gatormade brand, Tempty, aluminum trailers, and 3 or 4 more lines. Those are our primary premium lines. And also, of course, it's not the season for this, but actually it's the season for a good deal on a zero-turn riding mowers. Yeah. We carry a couple of brands, Spartan and Toro, in those lines. CID, skid steer attachments, is a popular premium brand, and that's our primary, you might say, our premium brand, as well as other brands in attachments in various levels of, depending on what you want to spend, what you get, basically, sometimes.
By the way, we haven't talked about your hours of operation. Are you open 5 or 6 or 7 days? When are you open, and what are your hours?
Well, currently, all of the above, you might say. Our normal hours are 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. through Monday through Friday. Right now, because of the darkness, we've cut back to about 5:30 closing. We are open on Saturdays from 7 to 4. And then we even also open for 3 or 4 hours in the afternoon. There's one of our part-time salesmen, you might say, comes in just to have the lot open where people can browse if they want to. It's not really a business day
Sunday
for us.
Afternoon?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
It's not like I say, it's not really a business day. We just kind of have it open so people can look,
All right. Well, again, the location is a good one, really.
Yes, sir.
It's near the. Well, it's not far from the interstate. Not far at all.
That's right. That's
Watertown exit. And right there at 1331 Sparta Pike, Harris Trading Company. And again, they really this year have changed the landscape. And I mean, it looks different. I don't know what all was there, but I know when I go by there now and look over to the left, it looks different from what it did just a few months ago.
Absolutely. As I mentioned, if you went out the back of our property and went over the hill, I would walk through the woods that I hunted and traipsed around as a kid, and I'd end up at my mother's house where I was born and raised. I used to ride bikes and traipse through all that, and it was completely different. I won't say how many years ago, 50-ish years ago.
Well, we hope that we can get the word out here. This will help get the word out. You're being here with us this morning about what all is taking place there. And we mentioned earlier, Raymond Harris is quite a businessman and is,
yes, sir,
as we would say, dabbled, you might say. He has been involved in a lot of different things, but he certainly has a good business mind, it seems.
Absolutely. I'm still, like I say, still learning of the many things that he's and to my knowledge has pretty much always been successful. So he tries to do things the right way, treat people right, and that's how you grow. That's how you grow any business.
Well, it is, and again, you have a wide range of equipment that is available to
right.
And what about recreational vehicles? You mentioned the golf carts a while ago, but you have RTVs?
Yes, sir. We actually have a selection of side-by-sides. Yanmar, our same brand as our tractors, they have a line of side-by-sides. We have another line, Intimidator brand. And, of course, if you put me too much on the spot of everything we have, I don't even know it yet, to be perfectly honest with you, because I'm like our customers. Still, I go in every day and walk around the huge lot and say, wow, I didn't even realize we had that because there is so much.
Well, what about your agriculture equipment? I don't think we've talked a lot about that.
Well, when I mentioned agriculture equipment, of course, the tractors and bush hogs, and we have a wide range of the attachments for tractors. You know, your bush hogs, a wide range of tillers. I'll forget pallet forks.
Right now is I'm sure a lot of people who are really into agriculture are thinking about next year now and planning.
Absolutely.
And this sort of stuff. Of course, some people will maybe need to buy some equipment here at the end of the year to help on their tax for tax purposes. That happens. But as far as renting it, here again, it depends on how much you're going to use something, and is it better to buy? But really, you can do either one. You're just really pushing the rental right now because that's your main thing, but you can sell it too.
Right. Yeah. The sales side of it has taken off so many brands that we represent and we're our dealers for, and like I say, they started earlier this year in renting, but we're really getting aggressively about expanding it. Mm-hmm. And like I say, when I have someone that comes in that knows me or they come in to see me about rental, you know, if they also are interested in something in the sales side, it's basically one of those things you might say everything's for sale or everything's for rent.
All right.
That might be our slogan there.
All right. Now as far as you rent by the hour, you rent by half a day, a whole day. We have talked about that. How are your rental rates determined and how long and so on?
Yes, sir. We typically do daily or weekly at the moment. Most of our equipment, a lot of people might need small things like you say a chop saw or those kind of things. They might only need it for a few hours, but we're basically focusing on the dailies. You know, most of the bigger equipment, you know, you come and load up a Mini X. By the time you load it and take it home and unload it, you really can't do anything in 4 hours and get it back. But along those lines, I will say we also have a wide selection of trailers. Dump trailers is a big rental item, but we also have trailers available to carry the Mini X. A lot of people who don't use them a lot, the heavy equipment, they won't have a trailer that will handle it. So we have trailers. A lot of the equipment is already sitting on trailers, or it's sitting beside a trailer that is also separately for rent. If you need the trailer, or you can use your own, of course.
What's that song Roger Miller had out? Trailers for sale?
Trailers for sale or rent.
At least that part fits you.
That's exactly right.
Probably not the rest of it. But anyway.
That's right.
Well, we construction, agriculture equipment, all of this, it is available, and again, for sale or rent. But James Van Hook, primarily pushing the rental thing. We're going to be talking about that each Monday here at 7:30. We won't have the whole half hour like we have today, but we've covered.
Well, that's too bad.
This morning.
I enjoyed the whole half hour.
But it's something new for you. You've never done anything exactly like this before, I don't think. Well,
actually, I've kind of dabbled in equipment, and my wife says I have a real problem with trailers. I have like enough to start my own used trailer lot at home, and farm equipment and such. But I've kind of, and the sales part of it, I've had many years of different types of sales, but it all kind of ties into what you're interested in, and that's where you feel most comfortable, so farm equipment, construction equipment, trailers, tractors, that's kind of my thing. So I enjoy it.
All right, and we can say you have your rental rate. You are competitively priced.
Oh, absolutely.
On your rental rates.
Absolutely.
And encourage everybody to come out and take a look at what all you have to offer. And again, the location, it's certainly a good one, and it's just on the you're about at the city limits, I guess. I'm not sure where the city limits is on Sparta Pike, but I
believe it's just out past us. But I like to say that little slogan, just south of the Watertown exit off I-40, and that kind of covers it.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Just south of the Watertown exit on I-40, Harris Trading Company, and James Van Hook is in charge of the rental part, but selling as well.
Yes, sir.
And again, owners, of course, Raymond and Jacob Harris, father and son. And we'll give you out your phone number one more time here. If they want to talk to you today, they can reach you at 615-547-4033.
That's exactly right.
Anything you want to say in the last 30 seconds here this morning?
Well, I'll say I'm sure there's a lot of things that I left out that fortunately we'll have a little time each week to maybe I'll remember. But I also want to say I appreciate the opportunity to be on Coleman Walker's show. He's been around since I was little bitty. I like to joke with him and say I remember him saying Coleman Walker plays more hit music back in the day.
I used to do that too.
Yes,
Thanks
sir.
for being with us this morning. We certainly wish you well.
Well, thank you very much.
All right. James Van Hook and Harris Trading Company, and that is it for Monday. Join us tomorrow for Coleman and Company. Till then, I wish you a magnificent day.